Do this with a glass of water and watch your financial block disappear. Have you ever stopped to think that perhaps the solution to your financial blocks isn't in a bank, a spreadsheet, or a side job, but in something as simple and everyday as a glass of water? It seems absurd at first glance, but what I'm about to reveal can completely transform the way you view the energy of money, prosperity, and abundance. Many live trapped in invisible beliefs, phrases they heard in childhood like, "Money doesn't bring happiness," "You have to suffer to earn a living," or "Only the rich get richer." These seeds planted in your subconscious mind grow into deep roots, blocking financial flow in ways you can't even imagine. And the curious thing is that these beliefs reveal themselves not only in our thoughts, but also in our bodies, our emotions, and in the small gestures we repeat every day. Now imagine a simple, powerful, and ancient ritual. Hold a glass of water, stare into it, and speak words of power, words of mental reprogramming, while your intention passes through the liquid and shapes the invisible structure that composes it. Modern science, through research like that of Dr. Masaru Emoto, has already demonstrated that water reacts to vibrations, emotions, and words. When subjected to phrases of love, gratitude, and prosperity, water forms beautiful, harmonious, and perfect crystals. When subjected to phrases of hate, fear, and scarcity, the crystalline structure breaks, becomes disorganized, and becomes chaotic. Now think, if our body is made up of more than 70% water, and if everything we ingest resonates in every cell, do you realize the magnitude of this secret? The glass of water becomes a vehicle of transformation, a bridge between your mind and the universe. When you program water with clear intentions of prosperity and then drink it, you are not only hydrating your body, but also sending a vibrational command to every molecule that composes it. It's as if you're saying to your subconscious, "I accept abundance. I deserve prosperity. I now release all financial blockages." This message begins to resonate within you, and little by little, external reality begins to align with this new vibration. Today, you'll learn how to use this technique in a practical way, without mysteries or complications, but with spiritual and scientific depth. And before revealing the step-by-step process, I want you to understand something. The biggest financial blocks aren't in the outside world, but within your mind. And if they're within, they can also be dissolved from within. Therefore, this ritual isn't just symbolic, it's transformative. Before continuing, please like, subscribe to the channel, and share this video, because what you'll learn here can change not only your life, but the lives of many others. Prosperity only grows when it's shared. Now close your eyes for a moment. Imagine a glass of crystal clear water in front of you. Imagine that this water is a mirror of your inner state. If you feel fear, the water absorbs fear. If you feel hope, the water absorbs hope. If you feel gratitude, the water illuminates from within. This is the starting point for you to understand that the ritual we're about to reveal is simple, but carries the power of centuries of spiritual wisdom and, at the same time, foundations that modern science is beginning to prove. Now grab your glass of water. It can be a simple, clear glass, because the purer and clearer it is, the easier it will conduct energy. Fill it with clean water, preferably filtered or mineral water. Hold it with both hands, as if you were carrying something sacred, because you are. Close your eyes and breathe deeply 3 times, allowing each breath to clear the confusing thoughts from your mind. The first secret here is not just the act of speaking words to the water, but the emotional state you access while doing so. Water reacts not only to the sound of the words, but to the vibration with which they are spoken. Say clear, direct affirmations out loud. I am free from all financial blockages. Money flows easily to me. I deserve prosperity and abundance. As you repeat these phrases, imagine your voice infusing every molecule of water with the power of intention. You can even visualize tiny particles of golden light emerging within the glass, multiplying and expanding until they transform the water into a radiant liquid. This is the moment when the vibration begins to shift within you. Now, slowly sip this water, feeling each sip run through your body. Imagine that this illuminated water is dissolving all residue of limiting beliefs, as if erasing old memories that were blocking your prosperity. Imagine that every cell in your body is receiving the command, you are free to prosper, you deserve abundance, you are worthy of the financial flow. This simple act begins to create a new programming within you. It's important to repeat this ritual daily, in the morning or before bed, because repetition strengthens the neural pathways in your brain. Each day, the belief in scarcity weakens, and the belief in abundance grows like a germinating seed. This is the secret to great results: consistency and faith. Water becomes a mirror of your inner state, and when used consciously, opens doors you never imagined. But you might be wondering, how can something so simple undo years of financial blockages, trauma, and family beliefs? The answer is that the universe doesn't distinguish between small and large, between simple and complex. It responds to the vibration you emit. When you hold a glass of water and speak with faith and emotion, you are emitting a powerful vibration. It's not the glass itself that holds the power, but the alignment between your conscious mind, your subconscious, and universal energy. Think about how many times you've unconsciously sabotaged yourself, missed opportunities out of fear, rejected invitations because you thought you weren't capable, given up halfway through because your inner voice told you, this isn't for you. These are the invisible blocks that the water ritual begins to dissolve. It's as if each sip is a reminder that you're reprogramming your mind, clearing out old files and replacing them with new codes. And here's a revelation. Many spiritual traditions around the world use water as an element of purification. In baptism, sacred tea, holy water, and shamanic rituals. Water has always been seen as a bearer of life and a channel of transformation. Now you understand why this simple ritual has so much power. It unites the ancient symbol with the power of your words and your mind. Try this test for 7 consecutive days. Every day, hold your glass, repeat the prosperity phrases, and drink consciously. Notice how your energy begins to shift, how you feel lighter, more open to new ideas, and more connected to unexpected solutions. Many people report that after a week, small blessings begin to appear. Extra money, a business opportunity, someone offering help, a debt renegotiated. This isn't a coincidence, it's a vibration. And here in the middle of the video, I want to ask you, have you ever experienced something similar? Have you ever felt that small changes in vibration opened unexpected doors in your life? Write in the comments, because your experience can inspire many others seeking prosperity. When you begin applying this ritual, something curious happens. Your conscious mind may even doubt it, but your subconscious begins to accept the command. And it's in the subconscious that the true financial blocks are stored. Remember the phrases you heard as a child? Remember seeing your parents fight over money, or that time you wanted something and heard, "That's too expensive for us"? Each of these moments was recorded as a file in your mind. These files stay there, running like invisible programs, and even if you try hard, they sabotage your results. This is why so many people work hard and remain stagnant, as if there were an invisible barrier preventing progress. This barrier isn't in the physical world, but in the mind. The glass of water, used with intention, acts as a kind of reset. Each time you hold the water and speak words of abundance, you are overwriting the old files with new vibrational codes. Think of it like updating software that was riddled with viruses. Suddenly, the system starts running faster, smoother, and more efficiently. Neuroscience also explains this. When you repeat positive affirmations with emotion, you're creating new neural connections. Water becomes the external symbol of this internal process. It reinforces the programming because the physical act of drinking water gives the brain a sense of accomplishment. You didn't just say the phrases, you ingested them. This reinforces the message even more deeply. And remember, your subconscious doesn't understand games. Every word you utter with emotion becomes a command. That's why so many people unintentionally continue to reinforce scarcity by complaining about life, repeating, "I don't have any money. Everything is expensive. There's never anything left over." These phrases are commands, and the good news is that you can change the commands. That's exactly what the water ritual does. Now imagine applying this technique not only to unblock your finances, but also to align your life in other areas. Relationships, health, spirituality. Water is a neutral vehicle that can carry any intention. If you program it with love, love will be reflected. If you program it with healing, healing will be enhanced. But today our focus is prosperity. I want you to visualize this. When you wake up in the morning, before picking up your phone, you go to the kitchen, fill a glass of water, and hold it between your hands. You take a deep breath and say, "Thank you, God. Thank you, universe. Because today, money flows to me in unexpected ways. I am prosperous, I am abundant. I accept and receive all available prosperity." Then you sip slowly, feeling each sip as a blessing. Imagine what it would be like to start every day with this energy. And it's not about magic or superstition. It's about vibration, alignment, and mental focus. Jesus said, "Out of your heart will flow rivers of living water." The Bible uses water as a metaphor for the abundance that overflows when we are connected to faith. The same principle appears in Buddhism, Hinduism, and indigenous traditions. Water has always been a symbol of flow, and money is nothing more than flow. It needs to circulate like water. When money stagnates, it creates stagnation. When it flows, it brings life, movement, and opportunities. The glass of water ritual teaches us to reconnect with this flow. It reminds us that prosperity is not about hoarding with fear, but about letting it flow with wisdom. When you program the water and drink it, you are saying to the universe, "I trust the flow, I release fear, I accept abundance." And the universe responds in kind. So practice this ritual daily and notice the signs. Sometimes financial blockages begin to unravel not because of a big win or an unexpected inheritance, but because of small changes. You find forgotten money in a drawer, receive an unexpected discount, someone offers help, or even a creative idea that generates a new source of income. These are the first signs that your vibration is shifting. You might think, this seems too simple to work, and that's precisely where many are mistaken. The universe responds to the simple, the pure, the symbolic. It's the human mind that complicates things, creates resistance, and always seeks elaborate explanations. But the greatest spiritual masters have always shown that truth lies in simplicity. Think of the parable of the mustard seed, so small, yet capable of moving mountains when accompanied by faith. The glass of water is your mustard seed. Now, to enhance this ritual, you can combine intention with emotion. Emotion is the fuel that accelerates any manifestation process. If you simply repeat the phrases automatically without feeling, it's like writing an order on paper and never delivering it. But if you speak the phrases with emotion, with true gratitude, as if abundance were already a reality, the universe understands it as a decree. It's not a timid request, it's a firm declaration. Some recent studies in epigenetics show that our emotions can even influence genetic expression. This means you can alter the way your cells function simply by changing the vibration of your feelings and thoughts. If this happens at the DNA level, Imagine what happens in the energy field that attracts financial opportunities. With each sip of your programmed glass of water, you're not only hydrating your body, but also rewriting the way your body and mind respond to money. And for those who enjoy deeper spiritual practices, you can place the glass of water in front of you during prayer. Pray with faith, surrender your worries, and then drink the water with the certainty that you are ingesting the answer. This creates a direct link between your faith and your material reality. I want to share something many people report. When applying this method, within a week they notice a shift in their internal state. Calmer, clearer, more open to seeing solutions. Within a month, they begin to notice external transformations. Bills paid more easily, clients appearing, creative ideas emerging. One woman shared that she had been unemployed for months. She decided to perform the ritual daily, always repeating, "I am prosperous, I am abundant, money comes to me unexpectedly." After 2 weeks, she received a call from a former colleague offering a temporary job. This position opened doors to permanent employment, and she attributed this to the power of shifting her internal vibration. Another man said that when he repeated the ritual before bed, he felt a weight lift from his chest. He had always been afraid of not being able to pay his bills, living in anxiety. After a week, he realized that his relationship with money had changed. He no longer felt panic when looking at his debts, but rather confidence that he could resolve them. And indeed, little by little, opportunities began to arise, as if his life had changed direction. These stories aren't magic. They're proof that when you change within, the world around you responds. The glass of water serves as a focal point, a ritual that gives shape and strength to your intention. And it's this clarity of intention that opens paths. And here I reiterate, share your experience. What are you feeling right now as you imagine this ritual? Leave a comment, because your experience could spark faith in someone who's at rock bottom. Sometimes a single word, a single testimony is enough to change someone's destiny. Think of money as a river. When the river is clean and flowing, it brings life, feeds fields, quenches thirst, and powers mills. But when the river is blocked by rocks and dirt, the water stagnates, rots, creates a foul odor, and attracts disease. The same happens with your financial life. When emotional and mental blockages accumulate, the flow stops. The glass of water ritual is like removing little by little these rocks and dirt, allowing the river to flow freely again. Each sip you take is as if you're removing an invisible stone that was impeding the flow of prosperity. Now compare this to a car. Imagine you have a new, powerful car, but it's stuck with the handbrake on. No matter how hard you accelerate, the car won't move. Financial blocks are like this handbrake, unconscious, automatic, but present. The glass of water is the gesture that releases the brake. It's simple, but it makes all the difference. From that moment on, the engine, which is your workforce, your creativity, and your faith, can drive you forward. And here comes another important point: gratitude. Whenever you perform the ritual, don't just ask for prosperity, but give thanks as if you've already received it. Say, "Thank you that money flows to me now. Thank you that all my needs are met. Thank you that I live in abundance." Gratitude is the key that transforms requests into reality. I want you to do an exercise right now. Take a sheet of paper and write down all the negative phrases about money you've ever heard or repeated. Maybe they're things like, "I'll never have enough money." "Rich people don't get into heaven." "Money is dirty." "Money only comes with suffering." Then, next to each phrase, write the positive version that will replace it. "I always have more than enough." "I am rich in faith, love, and prosperity." Money is a neutral energy that amplifies the good within me. "I receive money with joy and ease." Now, hold your glass of water and read only the positive phrases aloud. Finally, sip the water slowly, as if you were ingesting not only the liquid, but also the new beliefs you've chosen for your life. This simple exercise can be done daily and creates a cumulative effect, as if you were reprogramming your subconscious drop by drop, sip by sip. And see, this practice isn't just spiritual, it's also scientific. The brain works on repetition. Neurons that fire together create stronger connections. This means that every time you repeat a positive phrase with emotion, you're reinforcing a connection that weakens the old negative belief. The glass of water is just the ritual that turns this into something concrete, something you can feel and visualize. Over the course of weeks and months, this process begins to change not only your relationship with money, but also your attitude toward life. You begin to see opportunities where you previously saw only problems. You gain the courage to act where you were once afraid. You begin to trust where you once doubted, and this is what truly dissolves financial blocks. It's not just the ritual, but the internal transformation it triggers. When you practice this ritual consistently, something invisible begins to happen. You become more receptive to ideas. And remember, money doesn't fall from the sky in the form of bills. It arrives through ideas, inspiration, and connections. Perhaps it's that intuition to call someone, to offer a service, to try a new project. Often the answer resides in that gentle voice. The water ritual clears internal noise, silencing beliefs of scarcity so you can hear the voice of abundance. Imagine, for example, a locked door. You can knock, push, or try to break in, but if the key isn't in the right lock, it won't open. The glass of water is that key. It unlocks the door that's always been there, but which you couldn't open because of the blockages. And when the door opens, you realize that abundance has always been there, waiting for your permission. And with each passing day, by drinking the programmed water, you are reaffirming this permission. It's as if you're saying, I release, I accept, I receive. Little by little, the universe responds. I want you to understand something very profound. Poverty is not the absence of money, but the presence of blockages. These blockages are like invisible walls built over a lifetime. And prosperity is not just accumulating wealth, but living in flow, feeling light, trusting that there will always be more than enough. The water ritual is a spiritual hammer that breaks down these walls one by one. And do you know what happens when you break down these walls? You not only free up the flow of money, but also health, peace, and love. Because the energy is one. Many people, when applying this ritual, report not only improvements in their finances, but also in their relationships and emotional well-being. It's as if their entire life comes into harmony. Now I want you to close your eyes. Imagine holding the glass of water and see a golden river flowing through your body. This river washes away all the weight of ancient beliefs. See these stones dissolving, these shackles breaking, this wall crumbling, and see the river flowing free, bright, abundant. This is the image that should remain in your mind every day as you practice the ritual. We've reached the end of this lesson, but it's actually just the beginning of a new life for you. Now you know that a simple glass of water can be the most powerful tool for dissolving financial blocks. Don't underestimate the power of simplicity. What transforms is faith, intention, and repetition. Starting today, do this daily. Hold the glass of water, speak words of prosperity, drink consciously, and trust. You will notice that little by little your vibration changes, and when your vibration changes, the outside world reorganizes itself. You will attract the right people, the right opportunities, and inspiring ideas. Money will flow like a river naturally, effortlessly, because you have removed the blocks that were holding it back. And before I close, I ask you, like this video, share it with someone who needs this message, and subscribe to continue receiving content that elevates your life. And tell me in the comments, will you start this ritual today? Write, I release my blockages and accept abundance. This phrase is your first prosperity decree. Remember, prosperity isn't luck, it's alignment. and you've just learned the key many have been searching for their entire lives: a glass of water, a clear intention, unwavering faith. That's all you need to begin experiencing the abundance you were always meant to experience.